And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
No limits this week as the 30-driver field fights for those top 3 spots. Phillip Brewer dominated the first 2 weeks, but names like Dakota Floyd and Isaac Wilson have stayed close in the points with consistent finishes in the top 5. Can Phillip make it 3 in a row this week, or will we find a new name in VRX victory lane? This week from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway, presented by Thrustmaster, Pimax VR, and Buck Kicker, it's the VRX World Cup Series live on V-Speed. Welcome in again, everyone. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Kevin Hazelwood. And we've been to Texas Motor Speedway for years, but the reconfiguration of this racetrack, changing Turn 1, really changed the way you get around this place. And it fit a different persona of driving styles for a lot of different names.
Absolutely, Bradley. It's going to be an amazing time out there to figure out how to get things going without getting up underneath the other person around them. In sight ensuing, I cannot wait to see the action that they produce for us out here at Texas Motor Speedway with the boys and girls out there on the tracks in those trucks from the VRX World Cup Series this evening.
Qualifying just about to be done. We've got 5 seconds left before we take you to our grid. Texas Motor Speedway ready to go here for race number 3 of the VRX World Cup Series. As we set your grid up now, let's take you down trackside for your Pimax Pull Award. I believe that's going to belong to Chris M. Justice. Bring that name up here on the screen. There it be. Full award going to this guy. Pimax Portal is the one and only 4K hybrid VR gaming system compatible with Android, cloud services, and full 4K at 144 Hertz. The Portal does it all. Get yours today at pimax.com/portal. So a new name up front. And this isn't unusual. We've seen Chris Justice. We've seen Isaac Wilson up on the front, but nobody's really had an answer for the 44 of Phillip Brewer this week. or last week or the week before that. It's just he's been consistently fast, and he's starting up here in the top 5 tonight.
You know, Phillip has got things lined out on these 1.5-mile tracks. Anything from that range right there, it seems that he has the number pulled for him. Matt Gagnon up in front of him, though, running in second place. He's got that special dragon out there on the... Gonna breathe fire down everyone's neck behind him. I'm looking forward to a good run by that driver out there. You got Dakota Floyd sitting in 5th out there in that number 24 truck. He's going to have a great run amongst him, too. There's a good group of drivers out there that have been really consistent here in the past couple weeks since they've started this series. It's going to be amazing.
Going on through the grid here, we've got Christopher Hodges and Phillip Brewer starting side by side. Row number 3 will be Dakota Floyd in 5th with Jason Lyon in 6th. 7th spot, Kevin McCaughey. I did it again, man.
Mulcahy.
I will never get it, ever. And Jesse Baker, tis outside. Connor Gordon in 9th with Derek Johnson rounding out your top 10. Take it away, Kevin.
Absolutely. There we've got Brian Hennings in 11th with Benjamin Richards following in 12th. 13th is Kenny Reel. Ashley Ellison Jr. sitting in 14th. 15th place, Jonathan Ray with Jeffrey Hunter. Closing on in 16th with 17th place, David Collins. 18th in the number 5, Mike Shivers. 19th, Christopher McMillan. 20th, Isaac Wilson.
21st position's going to be to Stephen Crone. Teresa Spiker will be in 22nd. 23rd will be Sierra Clampert with Mark Math in 24th. 25th, Frank Perfin with Greg Spiker in 26th. That will round out your field, and I know that we've seen it a lot here, but I'm going to ask you, Kevin, who's your pick for this week?
Matt Gagnon. I'm going with Matt this week. I got let down last week. I'm not going to be let down this week. Matt's going to get the pole, not the pole, but he's going to get first place up on that podium. Top spot, going to Matt. Number 4, Toyota.
I'm going with the 24, Dakota Floyd. He starts back in 5th, but he's been consistent and always in the hunt for the win towards the end of the race. Pace truck pulls off. The 85,000 virtual fans and the iRacing virtual Texas Motor Speedway ready to go. VRX Cup Series live at Texas, race number 3. And coming by to lead lap number 1. Oh, we've got a wreck back there. That looks like the 38 of Christopher Hodges, and I can't grab a hold of him. He's dropping positions so quickly. He's backwards on pit road.
That is absolutely unfortunate. Doesn't look like a yellow flag was thrown out of there either, Bradley. I'm not sure. Am I wrong on that?
No, it's still green, and I'm going to go back another 10 seconds or so to show you. He had a little bit of contact with the apron, gets really loose, slides up in front of Dakota Floyd, almost gets into him, and then the rest of the field just can't check up in time, and they get into the back of him.
That is absolutely unfortunate, him sliding through that infield like that. Looks like he pitted up on that, too, and just went off and came out of the pits.
Side by side. You see it already, the 44 Brewer to the outside of Chris Justice for the lead right out the gate. Lap 3 in the books.
It's going to be an absolutely fantastic run here. All these drivers, they've been running for a while together and should know how to react amongst the other ones. Notice everyone clean. They went around and let the old 38 of Christopher Hodges do his thing, get back out there. He's going to try to move back up the track now. I hope they can keep all as well out here in Denmark, as they like to say, so we can have an action-packed race here at Texas Motor Speedway.
52 able to hold on to the lead for the time being. Your pick, Matt Gagnon, just behind him. They were almost 3 wide there for a moment. And then my pick, he snuck up a position. That's Dakota Floyd. He's picked up 1 spot since the beginning of this race. Jason Lyon looking to have a good week. He's finished 15th as his best finish. He finished 22nd last week at Kansas. And he's just, the frustrations have set in here for this driver. He wants to have a good finish. He knows he's capable of doing so. He just feels he's getting caught up in things that are beyond his control every week.
Yeah, you know, there's some things that you cannot take care of, some things you cannot handle, and that is just part of racing here. Check out Phillip Brewer up there. He's going to make them moves here shortly on that 52 of Christopher M. Justice. I can't wait to see him get up there and push him out. Amando right there. Matt Gagnon, he's running in 3rd place. You know, he's been on that podium for the past 2 races that they've had here. I'd like to see how things pan out for him throughout the whole series. 3rd place, 3rd place, 3rd place, man. You know what that means, don't you, Bradley? If he can do that consistently, that's exactly right, my man. 3rd place in the points will get you one of them Pimax portable gaming system. Handheld VR, I mean, you can't go wrong with something like that. And he is racing the race to have to win one of those for. What else do we got going on the track, Bradley?
Back in 11th position, a little bit of 3 wide action with the 98, the 93, and the, I believe that's the 11 of Kenny Reel on the inside. These guys fighting to get into the top 10. That's Connor Gordon in front of him that has the 10th position currently.
Connor Gordon sitting up in 10th. You got Isaac Wilson fighting 93, pushed up to number 11th right now. Jonathan Ray in the 98, coming around 11 of Kenny Reel to 12th position now. They're fighting a good fight up there, aren't they, Bradley?
93 of Wilson, who showed a lot of speed in week 1, had a bit of bad luck to finish out at Kansas, but nonetheless, the 93 has been strong. Looks a little bit far behind here to your leaders, 3.5 seconds. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but now able to race his way up into the top 10. Big gap back here, and I think this might have something to do with that early spin by the 38. You go back all the way to Teresa Spiker, who was running in the 17th position, and just in front of her, Mike Chivers in the 16th. So these guys about 1.6 seconds away from the rest of this pack. It's a pretty big split if you look at it on board with the 5.
Well, you know, I think that will be okay. They got drafts to make up. There's an easy line to run around this track here. If you can hold it steady through that front stretch there in that little try, you can gain a ton of speed and catch right back up just as easy as you lost it to begin with. So if they handle everything proper, they'll be back up amongst the pack within no time. Look at that gorgeous paint job he's got going on that number 5, driven by Mike Shivers.
It's a comic book theme there. I think Spider-Man's all over the hood.
It's got to be Spidey out there with all the webs and everything like that. The chrome job on it's what I'm talking about. Bradley, do you see it shining in the sunlight there?
Oh, definitely. And whoever paints these VRX machines does an excellent job. They're very unique. The custom number fonts, the way that they're spec mapped out, it's just different spec mapping on the numbers, on the actual decals. Everything just looks perfect. So well done, whoever made that.
Yeah, they did a great job wrapping all the spider webs around the corners and everything like that. That is for sure, sir.
Just outside the top 10, getting spiced up again. We got Kenny Reel, Connor Gordon. It looked like the 15 of Jeffrey Hunter in there as well. Ashley Ellison Jr. working into this pack. This is all outside the top 10. Dakota Floyd moves his way past Matt Gagnon for the 3rd spot now. They're gonna trade on the backstretch, back and forth. Phillip Brewer takes over the lead, by the way. We saw it coming. It happened for a consistent 10 laps. Justice just not able to hold on. down on the inside. And Brewer doing it again here at 1.5 miles. He looks like he's going to try to check out.
He is absolutely outstanding when it comes to 1.5 mile racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Phillip Brewer's got their number here at the VRX World Cup Series so far through the season. Who's on his 6 right there? We still got Chris Justice back there. Dakota Floyd coming up in 3rd. That's your guy right there in Dakota Floyd. He's your pick running that 24 DuPont rainbow paint scheme. Looking sharp, as they say on the track. You know, his last lap there was a 31:31. Not too shabby, but Phillip Brewer running a 30.03. Clear. Just whoo, like that, my friend.
Yeah, and these guys have been kind of trading back and forth. Phillip this time by, looks like about a 31 flat to Dakota Floyd, a 30.999. So these guys they're not really gaining, they're not really losing time. It's just kind of going back and forth. And you'll probably see that ticker on the left side of your screen hold right there at 0.6 and 0.9, respectively, 2nd and 3rd position. Racing back here a little bit with McCaughey. Did I say that correctly this time?
Mulcahy, my friend. Mulcahy.
There's a bunch of
Kevin
syllables and
Mulcahy
letters.
sitting up in 6th place in the number 99. He's got a bad to the bone VRX paint scheme driving on that machine there. Coming up on the 12K Primax of Jason Lyon. And they've got a race going on there. Look at that, 3 deep in VRX paint schemes. Jason Lyon in the 12, Kevin Mulcahy in the number 99, and in 818, Brian Hennings. They got a good race going on amongst them 3. Tell us about them there, Bradley.
Well, Brian Hennings, I did a little bit of broadcasting work for the VRX DSLR on Monday nights, so Brian Hennings, a very familiar name to me. Put together quite a few finishes that respectable top 10s, and it looks like we have a yellow out there on the track. I think I found it.
What
The car is
caused it?
stuck in the wall here. It looks like Kenny Reel. He has popped the engine, can't move.
Kenny Reel.
Here we go. We're coming off of turn 4, it looks like. And, oh, he just gets turned in the... Oh, man. That quad oval. Second half of it.
Absolutely. Let's see. He comes around. Yeah, the guy nailed him right there in the fender. Spun him right into the wall. Now backwards in the infield. Nothing you can do about that, Bradley. Nothing. There's absolutely no change in that right there. And now he's watching his friends drive by him from the wrong direction.
Yeah, and I think just like a peripheral vision deal with the one of Derek Johnson. He knew he was there, but he thought he had clearance to come and cut that second half of the quad oval. And unfortunately, that's going to cost the 11 of Kenny Reel some positions. He does have a fast repair if he was able to get it back around. It looks like he had to tow back to pit road. So
absolutely, they're going into pit lane now, Bradley. They're filing in there, taking this opportunity to get some tires and some fuel on those machines. Stay fast out here at Texas. Race 3, VRX World Cup Series.
Into the first pit stall would be Phillip Brewer, and then the very first pit stall is Chris M. Justice, Matt Gagnon, Dakota Floyd. Here comes the race off of pit road now as the left sides go down on Brewer's machine. He's down and away. He's going to win the battle off of pit road. Dakota Floyd might get second spot. Oh, really close there for the 52 of Justice.
You're really
Like
biased
the top
on that
five.
this evening. You don't hear me waving the banner for old Matt Gagnon to get all the way up there and do some damage, because I know my man's going to do some work out there. Matt's got it down. He ain't going anywhere. 5th place, 1st place, 3rd place, it don't matter. Matt Gagnon's going to get the job done up there for some points this evening. So, how's it looking towards the back of the track there? Where is Christopher Hodges sitting at right now?
38 car, who had that early spin, is in 21st position. Still on the lead lap here for the 38. Unfortunately, Kenny Reel will go 2 laps down. Frank Perfin also 2 laps down. These guys get their fast repairs. Stephen Crone back here. Crone started in the 23rd or 21st position. He hasn't really gained or lost anything. I think he's been getting some damage fixed as well as he comes back out a little bit late compared to everyone else.
Absolutely. Got that yellow flag out. My most hated time here on the track, Bradley. I do not like pace speeds. The track's not meant to go 65 miles an hour. It's meant to do $165, baby. Add a 1 to that, and we'll be talking business. But right now, sitting here watching the flies go faster than you are is absolutely no fun whatsoever.
Well, and you can kind of tell we got cameras here for all these different drivers, and you can see in the body language that some of these guys aren't performing the way they expected to. We had a pretty clean start to this race, but the 38, I can just ride on board with him here. You can see just in the way he's bummed out right now that this race is not going his way.
You think he's slouched down in the wheel right there, Bradley? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, shoulders down, just kind of not showing any kind of emotion right now at all. He's not angry. He knows he has time to come back, but I think lap 1, turn 1, that's just not the place you want your race to go wrong. You know, it's just not mentally. It can ruin your whole day.
You know, we had a lead change there under that pit. Mike Shivers in the number 5 now out front. Gonna have his work cut out for him, staying out there in front of old Phillip Brewer now. I don't know.
22 laps, and 20 of them were green on those tires. I don't predict that the 5 is going to be able to hold it in front of the 44 for very long. He might get him 1 lap if he plays defense, but it's going to be tough. He'll inevitably, I think this top 10 will, at least the top 10 will pass him. We'll see what happens though. I mean, it's not biased, it's just being honest. I'm a realist. In 20 laps at this track, that's cooking the right front.
We'll find out, my guy. We'll find out exactly what we got going on here.
Now, as far as track position goes, it could be a good decision. I just Mike was already up in the top 15, so we'll see what the call is. You know, we got different guys that have spotters and crew chiefs that make these decisions. We're just up here in the booth. That's what we know, and we're gonna see the 5 try to hold off Phillip Brewer, Dakota Floyd, Chris M. Justice, and Matt Gagnon, your top 5. Jason Lyon, Ryan Hennings, Kevin Mulcahy, Jesse Baker, and Isaac Wilson, your top 10. I got it right that time. Here we go.
Absolutely. You sure did. Ace truck out of here, Bradley. Who's going to get the jump here? Given the choice to the leader there as the number 5 truck of Mike Shivers takes off proudly out in front of everybody, giving him everything that he's got coming up into turn 1. But Phillip Brewer down on that inside line says, thanks for the room, Pally. We got one loose again, is what you're telling me, huh?
Yeah, that was Dakota Floyd, smacks the inside wall coming out of turn 2. And another truck spins out. That's the 15 of Jeffrey Hunter.
The 18 and the 15 hits the 2 is what it looked like, sir.
I saw that happening. We'll go back and watch as much of this as we can. Phillip Brewer
18 got loose.
Phillip Brewer was driving past the 5 quickly, so it was something that we were watching, and just out the corner of my eye there, I saw.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a battle out here, is what it's turning out right now, Bradley. We have got some action out on the track. They don't exactly know what caused that last one there, whether or not a driver got swerved down or whatnot. Someone's rear end came out from underneath them, and now we're back under that yellow flag condition, and that gives us a little bit of time, I guess, to go over the Rest of that grid with 11th place being Jonathan Ray, 12th being Benjamin Richards, Dakota Floyd falling back to 13th after that incident, by the way, right there, Bradley. 14th is Ashley Ellison Jr., 15th is David Collins. Sierra Campert is 16th place. Christopher McMillan back in 17th, Teresa Speaker and Greg Speaker 18th, 19th respectively, with Steve Crone sitting in 20th position.
So we were just going back, and it seemed like that exit of turn 2 caught a lot of people off guard. The 15 hit the apron, and then he lost control on the exit. The 18 of Connor Gordon lost control entirely. I think he tried to save it down the entire backstretch, where he was zigzagging, trying to. It looked like he was swatting bees in the cockpit there. And yeah, it looked like those fresh tires, cold, fresh rears, really set these guys off. They weren't expecting that truck to be that loose.
Yes, indeed. It looks like that we've got another lead change yet again. Phillip Brewer now up front with Chris M. Justice behind him again. Matt Gagnon back to 3rd place. Got a 3-spot jump for Phillip on that last restart there. So, well, I'm sorry, since qualifying at least.
Oh,
so
yeah, by lap 3,
places.
he was up there challenging Chris Justice by lap 3. He took off, and
he's
yeah,
fast.
it's good at qualifying and how you put your time down. That doesn't mean you're slow. If you could qualify in 17th and still win this race, it's really about, like you said, in our first week at Chicago, you want to know how this thing handles on the track. So, yeah, qualifying doesn't mean anything really if you're a talented driver.
Rolling along through the field here. It's a good race so far, though. I'm forward to seeing some action coming up here. Look at that, Christopher McMillan. He's he's been pretty close to around 10th or 12th in most of the races. Am I not mistaken on that? I could be wrong, but it's been unfortunate. Fortunately, he has been able to avoid the wrecks, though. That's a plus for that driver there.
Yeah, McMillan, another name that's been consistent. I mean, most of it here, especially with last week, was who finished. There was a lot going on that we had to unpack from last week at Kansas. There was a lot of instances where guys that normally finish well are caught up in situations. We talked about that with Jason Lyon. You know, he's running up here in the top 5. We know he's highly capable of finishing these races in the top 5. Look where he is right now. But just getting caught up in somebody else's wreck or situation, it's really hard to overcome things beyond your control.
Yeah, I think they'll shuffle on here shortly, my friend. I think they'll pull up, and this thing will be absolutely fantastic for the finish here as they come on through at this VRX World Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway.
So getting ready, 1 to green. Pace truck going to pull off this time by Phillip Brewer, Chris M. Justice, Matt Gagnon, Jason Lyon, and Kevin Mulcahy. Your top 5 out of that 99. That's back-to-back, huh?
Yeah, that's 2 times, my man. 2 times. I think, you know, what is it? It's like 100 times repeated makes habit. So you got some more to go, but you're doing a great job so far there with it, Bradley. He's a great announcer, ladies and gentlemen. Just because he mispronounces your name doesn't make him a bad guy. I like my compadre and cohort here in the booth with me now. So even though he can't say Mulcahy every time he gets his chance to. How they got till this thing gets going again? Coming around turn 3, coming up on turn 4. Is that truck going to take this dive into pit road and action going to be back upon us?
Yes, I hope so. I hope we go clean and green for the remainder of this 60-lap race. Lap number 29 about to start here as the pace truck pulls off, makes the left-hand turn down that long front stretch pit road. Phillip Brewer about to hit the loud pedal. And we're coming up on the halfway point.
Geico restart zone. He is going, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting here live at Texas once again with VRX. And baby, woo! Look at him go in that dragon. I told you he's going to be breathing that fire on every behind him. Look how far back they are, Brad. Look how far back they are now.
Great restart here for the 4 of Gagnon. Jason Lyon holding him off back here with Mulcahy and Isaac Wilson side by side for the 6th and 5th position. Almost some 3 wide here. Ryan Hennings right up on the bumper and the 1 of Derek Johnson. Some aggressive moves happening.
I like it when they get that pack racing going on, when the gentlemen and ladies can hold them machines together as they come around those turns 2, 3, 4 wide. It really makes for some great visuals to see going along the track, ladies and gentlemen.
78 of McMillan is going to lose a couple spots here. He gets shoved up out of the groove by, I believe, that was the 15 that pushed him up out of the way. 70 of Teresa Spiker, just in front of her. Christopher Hodges in the 38. He's recovered to the 16th position.
Big moves. Big moves on the track is going down right now with that just happens there. Great for Mr. Hodges, though he gets to make up a little bit of room that he had to go away from. How's Dakota Floyd doing now? Can we get an update on him on driver, sir?
Luckily, I think the caution coming out for the 24 kind of mitigated the damage that was done there, hitting that inside wall. I think he would have lost a lot more positions. Currently in 11th, so he hasn't totally lost the sight of the leaders. I think he got really, really lucky there to hit that inside wall, and it looks like he saved his faster car as well, so got some damage on the left side.
Absolutely. We got a battle going on for 8th place up here between the 88. I'm sorry, the 818. Is that, am I correct in that?
Yeah, Brian Hennings, Derek Johnson, that settles down there, and Hennings going to take over the 7th position.
Awesome. I love the race when it gets deep and dirty like this. So, what do you think? How do you think it's going to go down? Do you think Phil pull this off? We're going to get some great racing. We're going to get some action to call. We're going to get some passing. We're going to get some great racing here in Texas.
I think right now these guys have settled down. The tires have heated back up. We're kind of in that same caliber that we were at the start of this race. And
you think they found the grooves on there?
Yeah, I think that most of these guys realize that this truck's not capable of doing some of those passes in the inside of turn 2. It's just not possible to run down there. And now you see everybody kind of single filing out, planning their passes accordingly. Sometimes it's the learning curve.
Space wins the race, my friend. Space wins the race.
707 to David Collins coming off of turn 2. Looked like he got a little bit tight, but still in the 13th position. He's gained 4 spots here. And since we're past the halfway point, we got trouble. It's the one
in the grass.
Jonathan Ray involved in that as well. Derek Johnson looked like he got
Number
loose.
1
maybe tagged the
got
grass
loose
there.
right there. Absolutely. Did you see it? Did you? He just kind of got loose and couldn't pull on through. Did the number 1 there of Derek Johnson.
He got loose off the exit of, looked like the entry or exit of 4. Couldn't gather it up and slid back up into the quad oval as these guys were going by at speed. He was probably a good 30 miles per hour slower than the rest of the field when he came back on the track.
Oh, nailed the 98, sent him up into, oh, Lord and above.
You can see right here, it's already starting to get unsettled. He's chasing it, and it looks like the 818 maybe took the air off the
He
spoiler.
blew by him a little bit, exactly. Yeah, no contact was made there, but you would be amazed on just a blow by, just a drive up close to, on what it does to the air on the drivers on the track there. It just is crazy to get through all of that. When someone's that close and removes the wind from your rear end, nothing you can do about it, Bradley. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go back one more time. You can see him get loose in that approach. That's a tough break there for the one.
Unfortunate things happen all the time, though.
I thought we were settling down. We were just about to do our Thrustmaster through the field. We're running out of those opportunities to do so, so I think we're going to shoot right into it as soon as we go back green flag and see how many of these guys we can get done before something else happens. It's been kind of the cautions again tonight.
If you want to do it, the through the field would have to be. I think I know who you're going to call. And you might as well.
I mean, we got butt kicker, biggest mover. We'll call that one right there at the end. I think with about 5 to go. But, yeah, I mean, right now, biggest mover of the race, Sierra Clamper in 12th.
That is exactly correct. 11 positions. I was looking at that just as you were, bro. Great driving.
Started all the way back in 23rd. Almost into the top 10 here for the 23.
Do you think it's because it's that Toyota Tundra that she's driving out there, or is it possibly just talent? Behind the wheel.
I don't think it has anything to do with the Toyota. Honestly, the iRacing service does a pretty good job. I know that the likeness of the vehicles and the aerodynamics, but I think his trucks are pretty even. I think it's all raw talent.
Raw talent from Sierra Clamper.
Derek Johnson not going to be able to beat the pace truck out of pit road, and he's going to lose another lap here. Unfortunate here with the one. Another situation where having a great race up in the top 10, just one little mistake in these short races, it's hard to recover. It's tough to do.
Well. We're going to be racing here shortly once again at Texas Motor Speedway. Where's that money lying at for guy Boyd sitting back in position right now in that number 24 truck? He's still running a great race, even though he had the slight incident back on, what was it, lap 6, lap 7?
Yeah, and I think the recovery here for a lot of these guys happening so early, they're going to be able to get the finishes they deserve. What I haven't seen yet is anybody going to challenge the 44 truck of Phillip Brewer. This just hasn't been an answer for him at any track we've went to so far in this 8-race season. And if he's this good at 1.5 miles, this schedule fits right into his wheelhouse all the way through.
Does it scare you? Does it bother you that this guy is that good so far throughout this season?
No, it doesn't scare me. I am not surprised either. I know that there's always one. There's always one in any league you race in that just excels at these tracks, and you spend your entire week thinking about how am I going to beat this guy. Most of it comes down to track time. You're just going to have to practice and surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
He's actually right at their I-rating cutoff for it too, for this series.
Yeah, the cap was 2,500, I do believe.
Yeah, he's right at it. He's 25-27 now, but he was 25 started, so. Sneaky trick by that fast driver right there. Anyway, I do believe the lights are out on that pace truck. We're coming into 3 yet again, Bradley. And we're going to be green flag racing out here. Phillip better be careful out there, because if he's not, if he checks his mirror right now, he'll see that dragon breathing down his neck. And the driver of that dragon, Matt Gagnon, is going to give it everything to try to win this race.
Pace truck pulls off, getting ready to go back green. 44 Phillip Brewer hits the loud pedal, and we're back live VRX Cup Series at Texas. Already right out of the gate, you saw the 52 dive it down to the inside. He's playing defense. He sees the 4 of Gagnon getting a good restart. And a shuffle of cars back here behind Lyon, all the way with Mulcahy on the inside for fourth.
99 of Kevin Mulcahy. That Chevy Silverado should be driven to the gills as he comes up into fourth place just now. You got to watch him out there. What I don't quite understand, Bradley, is the draft here. Are they just not lining up behind that perfect line that the number 44 is driving? Because if I were any of them out the track, I would be right directly following exactly where he was every time, every turn around this track, just to keep that speed up with him. And yet you notice none of them follow.
Down the straightaways draft here in this truck, it's pretty, the power is so low on these trucks, it's just really hard to suck up. I've noticed that a lot of these guys not following directly behind in the turns is to keep air on the nose, because this truck's getting really tight. You can see it especially in 1 and 2 where they've lowered the banking. That truck's wanting to push up the track all the way through that corner. So they have to keep their nose a little bit in some air. And you can see the 52 is starting to gain back here, but as soon as he drops into 1, he's going to lose that ground because he's got to keep that nose a little bit lower to keep that downforce.
So if you notice, if you're watching right now, if you're up there at the front of the pack, which we are, that's where we're covering at this time. He has almost virtually no brake going on whatsoever. That man is using complete, total throttle control as he goes through turns 1 and 2. When he comes through 3 and 4, he taps the brake right at the beginning and then it's off throttle. He's probably off his throttle around 10 to 15% and then eases right back into it as he comes back through. It's amazing the job he does. He braked twice there right at the beginning of turn 1 to do it. The rest of them, as you see them come through, every one of them is doing a nice brake drag. God bless. What happened?
I'm trying to find it. I'm not seeing exactly. Maybe Greg Spiker was involved. It looks like he's got some damage here. We're going to go back and take a look at that. But lap 45, another caution here tonight. Maybe caution number 4 of this race. Looks like Spiker, he's all by himself here on the front stretch. Let's get back. There it is. Uh-oh. Is that who I thought it was just now?
That's Spiker right there turned around backwards. So what
Okay,
happened
I saw a purple
to cause it?
truck, and I thought it might have been Teresa, but it was Connor Gordon. They got into him there. For that split second, I thought, uh-oh. You know there's some rivalry there between Greg and Teresa.
They sit right next to each other as they do this.
You know that there's some rivalry going on there. Look, maybe like put the hand in front of the eyes there on the last lap just to mess with them.
Oh, my wife would be pinching me, pushing me, throwing water on thing that she could do to get an advantage on me. There's no telling what's. I'm just kidding. I am absolutely certain that Teresa is not doing anything to Greg because she's the better driver of the two, as I have observed. I'm kidding again, Greg.
I mean, statistically, right now, it's Teresa in 15th. Greg getting caught up in that accident takes him all the way back to 22nd position. But just things that we've noticed, they finished one position away from each other at Chicagoland. So maybe they might have to do some of those things just to get the advantage because they're running so evenly and so close. Well, I think we're just going to take this opportunity to do our Thrustmaster through the field because we tried to do it there on that clean run, and well, here we are, caution number 4 of the night with about 10 laps to go when we go green. Phillip Brewer in the lead, dominant performance yet again here for the 44. Just behind him, it'll be Chris M. Justice in the second spot. He's your pole sitter of the night, Pimax Pole Award. See if he can get back up there in that number 1 position. Your pick of the night, Matt Gagnon in third. And that Toyota Tundra has been in the top 3 virtually all season long.
That's right, Matt Gagnon up there. Kevin Mulcahy sitting back in 4th place right now. Started back in 7th in the number 99. Doing a great job is Mr. Mulcahy.
Putting all the
Fifth
pieces
place.
together tonight. There's Jason Lyon. He's finally kept it up out of the wrecks. Looks like he might get the finish that he feels he deserves here at Texas tonight.
Got Jesse Baker coming on through there now. Started up in 8th place, back up to 4th now. He's doing a fantastic job. I think he's got a good chance to get that top 5, maybe that podium finish if he can keep it together through the rest of the race.
Brian Hennings just behind him, the 818 in 7th position. Good solid run here for Brian Hennings. He's just got to complete the last 10 laps and put it all together. Isaac Wilson in the 93, a name that we mention a lot usually, but he's been pretty quiet tonight, back in 8th. I'd like to see that 93 get up there in the top 5. We know he's capable of doing it.
Next up, Dakota Floyd, sitting in 9th place. He's back 4 from where he started at in the beginning of this thing here, but you know, throughout all the disparities that he's had so far, he's came back up, and he's going to end up running a really clean race, I think, for this driver.
Rounding out your top 10 and finishing our Thrustmaster through the field, it's Ashley Ellison Jr. Started in 14th, and he has worked his way up into the top 10. The 133 machine looking to get it done for another top 10 here in VRX World Cup Series. That's your Thrustmaster through the field, and we're getting set to double up and go back green flag racing. We're a little shootout here, 10 laps or so.
I like it when it gets interesting like this. Do they got fuel? Did they get new tires? Are they gonna go 3 wide on the get? No, it's a rule in the VRX league there. No 3 wides on the restart for them. So you get to see a nice double file line go around and around until victory comes to one driver.
So I tell you, Phillip Brewer has had the answers all week long, but the consistent finishes for 3 or 4 other drivers, keeping them close in the points. If Phillip has one bad week, it could be a new points leader. Some of these guys praying and hoping that that happens, but tonight not looking that way. The 44, the 52, about to lead them off. Matt Gagnon behind, Kevin Mulcahy, Jason Lyon, Jesse Baker, Brian Hennings, Isaac Wilson, Dakota Floyd, and Ashley Ellison Jr. That was your Thrustmaster through the field just a moment ago. Jeffrey Hunter just outside the top 10 with David Collins in 12th. Here comes the pace truck off the track. 44 of Phillip Brewer hitting the loud pedal.
Ooh, green flag.
Back underway.
Got action right there, right on the start there. Did you see him touch up and go in the infield a little bit there, Bradley?
Yeah, I believe that
I
was
didn't catch the number.
I believe that was the 38 of Hodges again. He got loose there on the start.
Must have punched it up trying to get that jump up the field. There is nothing they can do to catch Phillip Brewer out here. I am just certain that the driver, they might have to check his machine at the end of the race. I'm serious this time. Last time I was joking. This time, check his machine. He's that fast in these fixed series here in the VRX Cup World Series. But back there in the back, I like to see the action go along. What's the 12K car doing back there for me, Bradley?
That 12K car. He fell back a couple positions here since the restart. He's back in 6th position. He's got his hands full with Brian Hennings and Isaac Wilson on the outside, and there's contact going into 1.
Little tap there by Isaac Wilson. That's all right. He can handle himself just fine. Look at him going 3.
They're crowding each
put him
other
in the
up the
wall.
wall.
He's up in front. Nose first in the wall. He's backwards. They're looking at him, breaking up, going around, and yellow flag out again. What does that mean for the race here? Do they do
They have
the green
white
flags?
checkers. They have green white checkers in this league, but I'm just wondering, we had the 12, he was putting it all together, and I don't know if emotions got the best of him, but he crowded and came right up in the 93 there on the exit of 2.
Accidents do happen, especially in racing. It's fortunate that the safety restraints have been refined in those things in the years past. And another fortunate, hopefully he wasn't in a simulator. That's all I got to say about that. I hope he didn't have full motion going on, because those things can jar you around in a situation like that.
Let's look at it from our drone camera. From there, it looks like maybe the 93 and the 12 just kind of innocently get together, and I was watching that exit of turn 2. Maybe the 12 thought the 818 was getting to his inside there. We're going to go back and look at it one more time. And yeah, it looks like the 818 of Hennings was to the inside, and the 12 was giving him room and came up a little too high.
And he's just trying to be a little nice, but you can't see all the way around. Plus and minus of playing in VR and not playing in VR right there. You can't see out that right there.
And one more time on board here with the 93 of Isaac Wilson. They had initial contact going in to turn 1. There's just no more room. And the 93 of Isaac just has nowhere to go. So caution number 5 of the night. We've had 3 lead changes here at Texas tonight. Our different leaders, Phillip Brewer, Chris M. Justice, and the 5 of Mike Chivers, and he is 3 laps down, so he got caught up in one of these incidents earlier in this race as well.
Absolutely. It is unfortunate how things happen on the track, but that's what goes down when you're racing for a chance at greatness, when you're racing for prizes, when you're racing for something to win, Bradley, especially, you know, one of those great butt kicker gaming systems.
See, I've always tried to wonder how I would mount that, because I have a like an office style chair. It's a mobile office style. It swivels and everything. So I just wonder, does Butt Kicker have, and I'm sure they do, some kind of mounting system?
Absolutely. They have the mounts that go around the bar, that your hydraulic stand where your chair goes up and down. You slide the plastic down, it clamps around. You slide the plastic up until it locks. You're done. Chair shakes forever.
Excellent. Well, note on that. And I know that Butt Kicker has the finest, and I had the correct term for this, but it's an ultrasonic sound, correct? It's like a subwoofer, but it works differently. Instead of moving air, it moves frequency, right?
They are what you call a oh shoot, I know exactly what it's a different type of. It's a transducer.
Okay, so basically we're moving air, but in a different way.
Technically, it's a subwoofer coil.
I would love to know how
technically,
that feels.
I mean, that's technically what it is. It's a speaker without a speaker, Bradley. So the way they work is the sound travels to it, or in this case, the telemetry,
objects, right?
The telemetry of the game travels to that, and then Butt Kicker transfers it and converts it to a sound frequency, sends it to that speaker system, and that thing vibrates as a subwoofer, like what it is the best way to explain what it is.
So we've got haptic
essentially,
feedback
yes,
from rumble strips and bumps.
That's exactly
track,
what it.
The
Yes,
sound of the truck,
everything like that.
It's incredible. So we need a VRX.
Yeah, it's very cool.
VRX simulator setup with a Butt Kicker sound. Then we need a Pimax VR headset and that Thrustmaster T248. And you've got a state-of-the-art. Too bad you can't have 4 profiles running simultaneously.
You might as well just build a car body around it to make yourself feel really good.
Oh yeah, triple screens, full windshield. Put a dash in there from
VR, just in case you get bored of the triples, man. You know, and just go all out. VRX Pimax. I apologize there for that mispronunciation. Get you the Butt Kicker system. Go all out with the Butt Kicker. You don't just get a single one. Get all of them. Get the 4 corners done, the back, the bottom of your chair. That's right. Feel everything, Bradley. Feel everything. We're coming up here on that back stretch. They are champing at the bit. That's exactly correct. Field's shrinking out there. The field is shrinking. Looks like we got a few drivers a couple laps down. back in the back of the field right now. That is terribly unfortunate.
I can tell you this, we're not done yet. We've still got laps to go. These guys have been chomping at the bit all week to go racing. Let's try it one more time with 4 laps to go as they cross the line. Phillip Brewer hits the loud pedal again, and a big bunch up behind him. Whew. That's perfect.
Oh, they're getting
Going sideways.
swirly. The
Yellow back out.
24 sent him to the end first. Your man is out, my friend. I do not see him being able to make it back into this one after that. That was not good.
Instant replay. He tags the grass. That sends him down to the inside. That's going to pop the engine for him. And then we have a couple other drivers that get caught up. This is Mike Chivers, and I believe that was this 57 of, I don't know, 67 of Frank Perfin, if we can get another look at this replay. This all happens simultaneously on this restart. Oh, the cars check up, and the one jumps the restart there. And that might have put some of these guys in that situation.
It was not very nice, not very good at all.
And it looks like Derek Johnson's actually been ejected from the event for that jump on that restart.
Derek Johnson been ejected from the event. Is that what you're telling me?
I believe so. I can go back one more time and look at this instant replay. He jumped 7-8 cars there on that restart.
Oh, he went 3 wide on the outside. Once again, that is a big rule here with VRX. They do not appreciate any 3 wide.
Well, VRX World Cup Series live at Texas Motor Speedway. We're going to go side by side here under caution, give our voices a break for race number 3 out of 8. We'll be right back after this commercial.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed, laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back here live for the VRX World Cup Series, getting set to go back green for the final 3 laps, hopefully, in this race. Phillip Brewer, your leader, and pole sitter Chris M. Justice on the outside. So we've watched nobody challenge this 44, but here with 3 to go, I think you put it all up there on the dash and let it hang. This is what you got to do to win races if you're going to beat that 44 truck. Green flag back in the air, and the 44 of Phillip Brewer going to lead them off. Can we make it around this track for the remainder of the green-white checker?
2 laps is all they got to pull out of them right here, Bradley. 2 laps is all they've got to do. They've got some moves behind right there. Well, I think they've got to make an exception on the last 2 laps here for things to go. Maybe not through first turn, but they've got to let them break up and go.
Already right up on the bumper.
Accident. 98 and 38 tapped going in. Sent
still
another
green.
one out into the wall. Absolutely.
They get the white flag up in the air. Final
White
lap here
flag
for
out.
Phillip Brewer. Matt Gagnon all over the back bumper of Chris Justice. 818 of Hendings on the outside of Mulcahy down the back straightaway. This is for the 4th position. They're shuffling all around here for spots for the last lap, but no one's going to touch the 44 of Phillip Brewer as he comes across the line. Your race winner, again, it's going to be the 44. Phillip Brewer getting it done.
Look at that 52 coming up, though, man. He had a chance there. He had a chance.
Chris M. Justice and Matt Gagnon, your top 3. Mulcahy able to hold on to the 4th spot over Brian Hennings and get 4th.
What an absolute showing there at the end. I'm glad they were able to roll on through and get things done. Phillip Brewer there for that win in the 44, showing us how things are going, how things are done out here at Texas.
Coming down the front straight away, down to Burnett. He's done it 3 times this season. The trifecta for the 44. And he's going to park it right at the start-finish line. Politely. Being humble and acting like he's been here before. Post-race interviews with your top 3. We're going to go back and watch that finish one more time. Here they come out of turn 2. Cars all over the place on this restart. We had some action as soon as the green flag fell as well. It was 98. Making contact, Jonathan Ray able to finish in 12th tonight.
They had a great showing out there. Where'd my man Matt Gagnon end up coming out at? I think he got
3rd position.
3rd place.
For the
That's
car.
my man right there. Dragon's Breath right behind him, as I predicted. Pulling off at least a 3rd place showing. Did Matt Gagnon. That is absolutely just heartwarming for me. Makes me feel good. Coming across that line.
Officially
for the win.
finishing this race, biggest mover of the race, the butt kicker, biggest mover was Isaac Wilson with 14 positions to finish this race out.
14 spots up.
Started all the way back in 20th position.
Look at that wreck right there. 818 slapping into Christopher Hodgins again. He beat around like a ping pong ball. Boop, 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 boop. Back and forth all day. That's how it was for him, unfortunately.
All right, well, post-race interviews coming up right after this. We're going to take another quick commercial break and bring you the top three of Phillip Brewer, Chris M. Justice, and Matt Gagnon right after this.
Fun, Phillip.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back here live, VRX World Cup Series. We've caught up on pit road. We have our friend Kevin Hazelwood. He's on the golf cart trying to catch up with Matt Gagnon, your third place finisher here tonight in the VRX World Cup Series. You got him, Kevin?
Absolutely, Bradley. We've got the driver with me now. Number Matt Gagnon, third place, baby. How you doing this evening?
You know, I'm doing all right. You know, it's better than I expected at Texas. You know, pretty good run from both me and my teammate Chris Justice. Shout out to him. Big, huge shout out to him. But overall, can't complain. A little annoyed by the amount of cautions, I gotta say. You know, I really was hoping for a long run. You know, me and Chris were kind of catching up to Brewer there on the longer runs, but you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but that's how it all played out. Peep 3.
You know, driver, Mr. Gagnon, you got the dragon on the truck out there. You were breathing the fire down the necks of everyone behind you. They didn't want to get near you. They didn't want to get close to that heat you were slinging. You had a great job qualifying this evening. I actually picked you to win out there. You didn't let me down at all with your top 3 finish. So congratulations to you. Do you have any shout outs that you would like to make? Anybody else you'd like to thank? Anything else that you would like to say before we kick you back out to your truck and let you get out of here for the evening?
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank the sponsors. You know, we got Thrustmaster, VRX Simulators, Butt Kicker, Pimax. I gotta thank my teammate Chris Justice. Jeremy Bailey couldn't make it tonight, but Chris Justice was a huge help today. He is the sole reason I managed to qualify P2. The only reason I found speed today, and I'm so proud of him getting P2 today. I have no words. He's the man here at Texas.
Absolutely, Matt. Mr. Gagnon, number 4, with the dragon's breath out there on the track. Great race out there, man. Good luck to you. Don't forget, you've been consistent the entire time. Keep it up. I look forward to seeing you up there on that podium at least 5 more times.
Hopefully. Call me Mr. P3, man. Thank you very much. Y'all take care.
That's right. Have a great evening, driver.
Third place finisher of the night, Matt Gagnon. The fire out of that dragon, I think he needs a little more fire, or maybe some ice. Make some of these trucks lose control.
Crank up the heat a little more, Bradley. You said it, brother. He needs to dial it up a little bit more. Get that second or first place finish. He's a good driver. Great personality with that driver. I do enjoy him. So
All right, coming down pit road, I've caught up with Chris M. Justice, your second place finisher of the night. And Chris, you started on the pole here tonight. We talked to you last, I think it was during the qualifiers, we had an interview with you, but you did well here tonight. Did you want P1 or is second just, the recovery? The season kind of started out rough for you.
I definitely wanted P1. I mean, the season didn't start out the way that I had hoped, especially with Chicagoland, one of my favorite tracks. Got caught up into an accident early, but I knew getting on the pole or at least up front was very important in this race. And I mean, Phillip, he's hard to beat. He's one of the most consistent drivers out here in the field. I think I may have had a little something for him in the logger runs. Unfortunately, we couldn't have those there towards the end of the race. But a second place is definitely a step in the right direction for me.
We're watching that heart rate monitor, and at times it was higher than my credit score, I do believe, trying to keep up with that 44. Is it frustrating because once you see him going around the outside, it's like he just checks out?
It wasn't so much. I was trying to go into a little bit more of a tire saving mode, but the heart rate monitor just shows just how thrilling and exciting the VRX truck series can be, and that's what it's all about. That adrenaline is nothing like it.
I can attest to that. It is, and the simulation here for iRacing, they do a great job of all the immersion that they put out there. And you're in a full VR setup, so I can only imagine what that must feel like. I've never been able to experience that personally. But second place finish here tonight, and a great recovery from what you said, Chicagoland. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
I do. First, I got to thank Coronado Coal and ACUWebServices.com for the sponsorship. They helped me so much with getting the VR and the racing rig. I couldn't do it without them. I want to thank Matt Gagnon, my BCR teammate, Jeremy Bailey, that couldn't be here. And I want to thank VRX, Logitech, or Thrustmaster. I'm sorry, not Logitech, Thrustmaster, Pimax, all the sponsors. It's been a pleasure racing in this so far, and hopefully we can get P1 next week.
Agree to that, Chris. Congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll let you go. Maybe we'll get to talk to you next week.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Chris M. Justice, second place finisher down here on pit road with us. And finally, we have Kevin Hazelwood in VRX victory lane. Your race winner down there, Phillip Brewer. Take it away, Kevin.
Mr. Brewer, congratulations on that big victory tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Tell us how you're feeling, driver.
Felt pretty good. I mean, it was a fun race. Just wish we could have got some more green flag laps in.
Absolutely, it is more fun when you get to make them long distance runs. They were thinking they were catching you back there in P2, P3. We were seeing some other things go, but you had one amazing yet again here in this VRX World Cup Series. Texas was a breeze for you, it seemed, driver. How do you feel about next week?
I feel pretty good. Our qualifier was at Charlotte, and I was able to win that, so I think it'll be a good race.
Think you got a good run for Charlotte coming up. Well, driver, once again, great job out there. Great showing of speed on the track for the times that y'all got to actually keep the speed up in the green flag conditions. Do you got anybody that you'd like to shout out? You'd like to thank before we let you go?
Shout out my Logitech wheel for staying true, getting me through it.
Absolutely, driver. Thank you so much for being here with us. We'll let you get back to your victory there at Texas. Have a great evening.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Race winner here tonight, Phillip Brewer, able to get it done, and nobody's had an answer for him yet this season. 3 races in to our 8-race dash for the Pimax portal, the Thrustmaster T248 racing wheel, and the butt kicker system setup. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We're going to bring up your final results on the screen now. Brewer, Justice, and Gagnon. We just had our post-race interviews with those 3. Mulcahy in 4th position, holding off Brian Hennings for that 4th spot. Isaac Wilson in 6th, biggest mover of the race for the butt kicker biggest mover award. Then you have Jesse Baker, Jeffrey Hunter, Christopher Hodges, and Connor Gordon finally gets a finish in the 18th, 10th place.
Absolutely. Benjamin Richards, Jonathan Ray, Sierra Clampert, David Collins, and Greg Speaker. They're from 11th to 15th. They're in that lineup at the here. Christopher McMillan in 16th. Teresa Speaker, 17th. Frank Perfin, Steve Crone, Ashley Ellison Jr. rounding out the top 20. Kenny Reel, Mike Chivers, Jason Lyons coming in 21st, 22nd, and 23rd position out there. With Dakota Floyd coming in 24th. And Derek Johnson not getting to finish, 7 laps down in 25th.
Yeah, and I don't have the full, I would assume they'll let that driver come back next week, but a penalty there for the one jumping that restart. But we'll have to get the full details of that after this week. Yet again, another great broadcast here on V-Speed. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this broadcast. It helps us out tremendously. But for everyone at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Kevin Hazelwood, and myself, Bradley Cooper, we thank you for watching the VRX World Cup Series. Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.